Welcome back. You're still watching In the Game. I am Onyinyechi Obaro. Let's take you to the world of football. Women taking center stage here for the Women's African Cup of Nations qualifiers. I would say 9-time African champions. They completely outtaught, outplayed, and outmaneuvered their counterpart from Cape Verde to hit 5 goals in the first leg of the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations final round qualifying fixture in Abuja on Thursday. What a way for the 9-time African champions, Uche Nakanu with a first half brace and substitute Esther, of course, Okoronkwo with a second half brace, swept the 9-time African champions into comfortable lead in the fixture and all but earned a place in the final slated for Morocco at the summer of next year. Both teams will clash in the second leg in Praia, in the capital of Cape Verde on Tuesday, 5th of December. And we are saying this will be consolation for the poor performance from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Maybe the Super Falcons can, of course, overturn that bad performance from them, giving the Abuja fans something to cheer about, something to rejoice about. 5 goals on the first leg of that encounter for the Women's African Cup of Nations. The qualifiers against Cape Verde. We wait for the Tuesday encounter. Maybe we might see more goals. But let's see if Sam Ahmadu feels the same way. We have Samuel Ahmadu, of course, the head of media for the Nigerian Women's Football League, NWFL. Thank you so much for joining us on In the Game today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for bringing me on. It's a pleasure talking women's football and also wonderful opportunity being on News Central yet again.
We are always glad to have you join us via Zoom on In the Game. I must say the stellar performance from the 9-time African champions were something we expected because they will always turn out. But I'm so excited. Monday Gift's performance yesterday. She's getting game time like she deserves. Do you agree that the team looked a bit more balanced in the game against Cape Verde yesterday?
Well, definitely, we see with every game there's a lot of improvements. The players are no longer in a rush. They are so compact. They are so confident with the ball. They move the ball freely without trying to be in a rush or be hasty or hesitating. And these are also just this is a team that many felt was depleted, bringing in fresh leg and young lads who really came in, the likes of Esther Onyinyechi, the likes of Deborah Biodo, who just came in from the US and who hasn't been part of the team since the World Cup. And it's exciting that yes, they showed so much confidence on the ball. They were pushing the ball around so freely, and the goals came. Even though we had a couple of chances that we could have buried to make it possibly 7-8-0. But again, this is a lot of positives. We haven't scored 5 goals in a very, very long time, in close to 4 or 5 years. But for now, I think after on the back of a 4-0 win over Ethiopia, even without a Caesar, even without a lot of big names, Halima Inde, Christy Ochebe, so many talented players, Aloze and a lot of them, we still managed to churn out another massive scoreline with players. You could see Esther Okoronkwo hasn't been featuring for a while. She just came back and she wasn't even involved in the World Cup. So these are talented players that you could see that yes, the future is very bright. And home-based players also coming in. Chiamaka Okechukwu, who did so well with Rivers Angels during the previous weekend, the midweek during the Nigerian Premier League against Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership against Edo Queens. She was involved and she got a debut for the senior national team. So we want to see how this progression could happen. And while we are seeing those progression, we also can introduce many young players and at least see how we can expose them, mix some youth and also some experienced players. So we saw Tochukwu Olohi coming in, also having the game time. This is something huge. At least she will be excited. She will feel some sense of belonging with the team, and not ignoring the presence player like Onyinyechi also offered at the back line. So this is massive. Ajibade, everybody was so much involved, the unity, and having such a result. So just in 2 games, 9 goals, it speaks volume about the potential we have, even though without our best legs or of our starting players. But now it seems the momentum is back. We seem to have gained our dominance, and I think the quality of play too has improved greatly. So I think we're just starting off on a fresh, especially under a caretaker coach who, for me, has learned a lot from the game, has been around for many years, and is also one of the most qualified coaches in women's football in Nigeria.
All right, so thank you for laying emphasis on the absence of Coach Randy Waldrum, who was not present at that encounter there in Abuja. But does the recent performance shown by the Super Falcons cast aspersion on the availability of the coach, Coach Randy Waldrum, or even the availability of some stars? Because we did hear about Asato Shwala not being able to make it to camp, and also the Ucheibe having to make it to camp. Does this cast aspersion on the availability and also the availability of the coach?
Well, the excitement is Nigeria is blessed with talents and great potential. They're just seeking for the opportunity to play. Long before now, you could remember a player like Esther Morocco hasn't featured in a very long time, and she was instrumental to our qualification for the Women's Cup of Nations back in 2022 when she scored in the home and away fixtures against Cote d'Ivoire. And unfortunately, she got injured and missed out on the AFCON tournament in Morocco. But personally, I know the potentials in her. But again, yesterday she was introduced. See the quality of introduction the coach made, and see the impact these players made in those games. It tells you that we don't have a vacuum. We don't, and we don't seem to have, and we never had, because we have the talents who could, in any day, anytime, step in and also bring the result to the team. So, and this is why you see the coach has carefully gone about his business, bringing the right player he feels could fill the voids, and also ensure within a short time we never knew as that was not going to. But again, you see the likes of Monday Gift, Okoronko, Rinsola Babajide, and many of them came in, and Uchenna Kano came in and made the difference. And this is it. Even unfortunately missing a lot of opportunities, but creating it was something we were very, very happy about. And the flow of the game, you had exciting games to watch, and you saw also Abiodun. You see the future looks very bright. And for me, I think we just need to look away and look forward to the future and see how else we can build on the progress we have. For me, I don't see a vacuum. Justin Madugu, he's been around for over a decade. He's on the study. He's been to the last 3 consecutive World Cups and the Nations Cup, and was part of the system for a very long time. And is a highly qualified coach. He holds a CAF instructor, something even higher than CAF A license. So I don't know what to expect from the team anymore, especially seeing that in 2 games we scored 9 goals and conceded none. And that is something we never enjoyed with the Super Falcons in even over 3 years under Randy, because we have some sense of inconsistency, some sense of panic, almost like we have with Eagles, except at the World Cup that we have something to cheer for. But again, for me, I think we just need to look to the future. Randy has made a great impact, especially with the quality of foreign bonds brought into the team. And for me, I think we just need to look ahead. If he wants to stay, I think it's in the hands of the federation to look at how best to bring him back. But we know his contract has expired, and definitely looking into the future, we have Justin Madugu, and I feel for just even a short time and without lack of players, nobody is complaining that there's no players. Nobody is raising an eyebrow.
Okay,
this person is around. But again, we're playing through and we are having the results which we do expect, and the excitement we should enjoy seeing the Super Falcons.
Okay, Sam, to my understanding, I know that Justin Madugu is on an interim basis right now as the coach of the Super Falcons. But in our conversation for a very long time, I've been hearing the coach from you. Is that something you're not telling us? Because we did not see Randy Waldrum at the encounter in Abuja yesterday.
Yeah, Randy Waldrum's contract expired on 31st of October, and for that, he can no longer claim to be involved with Nigeria. The only conversation
Has the federation confirmed that? Has the federation confirmed that?
Yeah, that is no news. That is no news. I can tell you this. His contract expired on 31st, but the only matter regarding Randy is the talk of the extending of his contract, which has continued to linger. But again, we don't know what the situation is about that conversation, especially with interactions we have with the president and recent media interactions. So I think extending his contract still lies with the federation. And if the possibility of having him continue with the team, I think that will be a decision to be made by everybody. But at the same time, there is a vacuum that must be filled, which Justin Madugu has taken charge of and has done wonders. And seeing what he has managed to to achieve in 2 games. Nobody's complaining one player was not brought up. Nobody's complaining Federation is forcing player on them. We've read so much issues and so much criticism in the media about a lot of discording tune between the coach and the federation, which for me is uneventful and unnecessary with the women's national, because we don't sound as if we don't have the talent to perform any day, anytime. So we never at any point felt talent starved for the women's team. So for now, I think, and I'm excited, 2 games consecutively celebrating 9 goals. I think it's something that shows that we have great potentials, especially when you don't even have one of your best legs around. So I think Justin Madugu, for me, I think lose a good fit for the team, and I think is one that definitely we can look at encouraging, especially knowing that we've had back-to-back foreign coaches, and it's just not a bad idea. We looking back home to see what we can do with our local coaches and see how best we can push them to also achieve a great success, especially going to the global stage. We have nothing to be afraid of, especially when you go to the African Cup of Nations. Almost all our local coaches have won the tournament, except for that we missed in 2012 through Kadri Kana. But again, back to back, we've enjoyed successes, and we just can't expect anything less going into going back to Morocco again this time around.
Okay, I think you seem to be a fan of home-based coaches, but you did say there is no complaint, or there was no complaint in the game yesterday, everything that went down yesterday against Cape Verde, but their reactions concerning the starting 11 used by Justin Madugu. Ajibade on the wings and Payne in the middle is always a go-to for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. But there are arguments that Abiodun, who arrived late, was given a nod to start. Yes, she made a very, very important performance yesterday for the Super Falcons, but a lot is still arguing. Why give her place to start when she arrived late to camp?
Well, for me, I honestly had that same conversation with a lot of people. And for me, when you look at Abiodun, the player like an Abiodun, especially when you are having to be without the likes of Halima Tuanyide, you're having to be without the likes of Christy Uchebe, you're having to be without the likes of Jennifer Echejine, you're having to be without the likes of Regina Otu. Tell me, if 4 midfielders, key midfielders, in any best team, you will always have reason to doubt yourself. But you having a very solid quality player like Abiodun, who performed excellently well at the World Cup, and she came on the night of Tuesday, and that's stroke Wednesday morning, and we were playing on Thursday evening. That's almost 17 or 18 hours. You can't compare that to the likes of Randy Waldrum when Uche Nakano came on the first leg of Cote d'Ivoire. Uche Nakano came in the morning of Friday and still played that game. I think she even started that game against Cote d'Ivoire. If my memory serves me correct, but I know she played that game. She came on Friday morning and played on that same Friday match. And that's for me. And especially in attack, where we have more options. In the midfield, we have limited options. And you saw what Abiodun was able to do in the midfield. She eventually ended the play of the match. She was a sign, as she was a star to watch for everyone. And especially having missed out on the team and now being even a potential CAF Youth Player of the Year winner, you definitely have to give it to him that, well, it was a decision definitely well thought out, because if you have considered not starting Abiodun, you will now have imagined what could have gone wrong with the team, and the quality of game we watched probably wouldn't have been what will have turned out to be. But again, the quality Abiodun has, the critical position she is, playing in the midfield where we are short of many quality legs, for me, I think was spot on, and surely shouldn't draw any criticism except people who probably have some other reasons to throw tantrums.
All right, the coaches have to evaluate these players' training, and they decide who would start and who would be on the reserve team. Thank you so much, Samuel Ahmadu, for your analysis today on the show. We're hoping that the second leg, the Super Falcons, can bring glory, put smiles on the faces of Nigerian fans. Thank you so much for being with us on In the Game.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me. And hopefully next time we could talk more about great success of the Super Falcons.